Hey, and welcome back to episode 52 on Newbreed Film Reviews. And on this episode, we're going to be doing a review on the new Marvel movie, Ant-Man. And on the review, I have Dave with me.
Hello, people.
And it's just me and Dave. Obviously, I'm Brian. And we're just going to talk about the new Ant-Man movie. Strictly, we'll do the same thing as we usually do before. We'll talk a little about the movie in general, and then we'll give you a break. We'll let you know, and then we'll get into spoilers so you can cut off or you can listen to it. I actually listened to a podcast beforehand listening to it, and it was kind of cool to actually see their aspects of the movie, and then I went into the movie kind of looking at what they pointed out, and I kind of agreed and disagreed on certain stuff. So it was actually kind of cool to listen to it with the spoilers before I went into the movie. Because me and you had talked about this before too, Dave, that I was like, kind of like wishy-washy about it. You know, like I was not super excited about it. I took my nephew to go see it, and he liked it a lot, so it was right up his alley.
Yep.
So, you used to go to Groton cinemas, right? All the time?
Yeah, dude. It's like a little rinky-dink, Groton, Connecticut. Some of you people listening probably live in Connecticut in the area, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. Groton Cinemas. It's a little rinky-dink theater, and I used to love going there when I lived up there because it was always empty, and it was it was a cool little secluded theater, and I wasn't bothered by people, and I would go like on Sundays and stuff and check out movies by myself. So I miss that place.
Well, I just got to tell you a little bit about my experience. It's the same as what you said. There was nobody in the theater, which is good. But when I walked into the theater, all right, I sat down on one of the cushions, and there was no cushion in it. So like I fell through like the seat, like there's no butt cushion.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if, like, Ant-Man's just recently released. They put us in the theater, and the front speaker was blown underneath, like, where the main projector is. I was like, what the hell is this? After a while, you kind of, like, when you're just dealing with bad noise, you just kind of get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it looked like, I don't know, it didn't look like super high quality. It looked like...
The screen, the projection.
Yeah, the projection didn't look, like, crisp at all. So
when
I wasn't too happy with Groton Cinemas. Like I'm a stickler for, like, I go to Waterford or I go to, like, Lisbon. Like those are my spots.
Dude,
but
Westbrook.
Westbrook's good too.
Westbrook's decent. That was my go-to also, but that was like a drive, like 25 minutes. But
now Waterford's got the reclining seats, so we always try to go there if we can.
Waterford's pimpy now.
Yeah.
But dude, yeah, Groton, it wasn't that bad. When I went on my visit, I forgot what I saw up there, but I did catch a movie, and I did notice that the quality of their projectors has, like, degraded or something. Like, I don't know, dude. Like, they're just slipping. And little side note, I used to actually work there years ago.
Yeah.
I was a usher? Is that what you call it?
I don't know.
Worst freaking job ever.
Are you really that guy that walked up and down the aisles with the flashlight?
No, dude. I used to man the concession. I used to sell tickets and everything else that needed to be done. I know how the popcorn system works. Like, dude, they the popcorn's not fresh. That shit's sitting there for like effing
days.
I'm not even kidding you. Like a week. It comes in giant bags, like already pre-popped. And when you go to the back room, these bags are like about 3.5 feet tall, like giant big bags of popcorn.
They just like reheat it, basically, right?
They reheat it. And then check this out. Oh, the pretzels? Anything that's like pre-cooked, like the pretzels, okay, if it's like they rotate it, it's a rotating scheme. So they put the old shit to the front and the newer stuff to the back and just keep like rotating. And it can be there for a week. And one time I asked, I was like, how do you know this stuff is bad? They were like, oh, tap on it. They're like, grab pretzel and tap. And if it's too stale, it's like, are you serious?
They got the tap method to see if it's good or not.
Dude, and the butter machine, like, when they squirt butter, like, they never clean that shit. I don't know how it is now, but like, when you take the lid off, it's like,
like caked in there, right?
It's like yellow jelly, like at the bottom of it. It's nasty. But with that being said, I still get popcorn and butter.
It's too good. It's too good not to get.
So that was one of my worst jobs. And then the other worst one was when I delivered furniture. That shit was, dude, like powerlifting every day for like 12, 14 hours. That was hell. Like, I think in jail, they have a lighter time breaking rocks with chains on their ankles. Rant.
Yeah, that's got to be a sucky job.
I'm not even going to name the company, but it can burn in hell for all I care. Anyway, go ahead.
All right. So overall, general, how'd you like Ant-Man? Dave did a review. He did a short review after he actually saw it.
Mm-hmm.
I told him I wanted to check it out. He said he wanted to get his ideas out there. You did the review with Southpaw, right?
Yep.
Okay. So Dave's got a little one on there. It's got no spoilers. We'll talk general right here, and then we'll talk spoilers of the movie on this. But overall, what'd you think?
I'll try not to repeat what I said in the solo review, but overall, like in short, like I really, really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it for like a Marvel flick. I had a feeling that it was going to be good. I just had a good vibe about it. And because Paul Rudd's funny and Ant-Man's not really known, but like, and I really didn't know a lot about him, but understanding that he shrinks tiny, I just saw potential for like cool imagery. You know what I mean? Like just really tiny and like.
Yeah, the special effects was really good.
Yeah, the special effects were like awesome, dude. And
yeah.
I like how they didn't take the movie too serious. It had like humor in it. It was lighthearted, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much that I do believe I would buy it. Like if I saw it for a good deal on Blu-ray, I would own it just to own it as part of the Marvel franchise.
Yeah.
That's me though.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I went into it with like this is stupid kind of idea. I mean, it's a Marvel movie, so I expected it to be good. I like Paul Rudd. I knew that they were going to bring comedy to it because guess what? They brought a comedic actor in there. Mm-hmm. And you can tell by the trailer that it was pretty good too. And I, like you, actually went and researched after about Ant-Man, and I didn't realize he was such a big part of like, the Avengers.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, he's a big member of the Avengers.
Yeah.
And that's obviously why they introduced him in here. But I thought the movie was overall fun. The special effects were really cool. There was a lot of parts that made you laugh. Edgar Wright is the director, or was going to be the director, but he was just the writer. You can tell Edgar Wright is the one that did Shaun of the Dead. He did Hot Fuzz. He did In the End. He did like those kind of movies. He does like those quick shots and like he does a lot of comedy in there, and he plays off the characters pretty well. Mm-hmm. So he wrote the screenplay. He was going to direct it. They brought in this other director because I guess Marvel, they won't announce it, but Marvel said they didn't want him to direct it anymore. And but overall, I thought it was good. I mean, it's like right up there, almost like the same kind of comedy as like Iron Man had.
Yeah,
it had that same kind of funny vibe, that same feel. Mm-hmm. Like you had just said, it didn't take itself too seriously. Actually, it's a cool superpower. I thought that shrinking down like a small thing would be pointless, and controlling the ants was actually pretty cool too.
It was cool, dude.
Yeah.
I guess we could really get into stuff in the spoiler section, but the whole shrinking down, man, I can't really like elaborate on the stuff he was doing. I'll just save it for the spoiler section, but yeah, as far as like being like Iron Man, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, this has like an Iron Man vibe to it, except it's Ant-Man, and
right.
It wasn't as good as Iron Man to me. But
no, it wasn't.
Even being similar to Iron Man is still a really good superhero flick because Iron Man was like superb. You know what I mean? So
I think it resonated more than like Captain America or like Thor with me.
Oh yeah, it was the first Thor I liked. It was better than The Dark World. The second one, it was better than the first Captain America. First Captain America was slow, dude. It was boring.
Yeah, it was boring. Mm-hmm.
Winter Soldier was badass, but
I still haven't seen that one.
Dude, it was good. That's like one of the best.
I think I've seen all of them in the franchise, but I think that's one of the ones I missed. Mm-hmm. I just haven't gotten to it. It hasn't crossed my path, you know. When I grab it if I can grab it on Redbox or grab it on streaming somewhere, I'll check it out. But I just haven't got the chance to.
That movie, dude, it has a ton of action and it really shows you what Captain America is capable of, like being like peak human. You know what I mean? Like it's amazing. I
have to go see it before I see the new Civil War that's coming out. Anyways, I think I'll be lost if I don't see it before then. So I will.
Yeah, check it out, dude. You'll probably want to own it. It's that fun. So,
Yeah.
mhm.
So overall, what would you give it? What's your rating scale
I
before
gave
we get into spoilers?
I gave Ant-Man I gave it 2 on the solo. I said it was either a B or a B plus, and now that I had time to think about it, it's probably like a generous grade, and some people might not agree, but I do give it I'm gonna stick with B plus as far as like a Marvel, Marvel franchise entry for that type of movie. I give it a B plus, and it may be generous, but like I really enjoyed it.
That's what I agree with you too. I was thinking like a B plus. I don't want it to give it just a solid B because guess what? It's pretty good in the scheme of Marvel movies. If I'm putting Iron Man as like an A, or like an A plus, it doesn't. It's up there, but it doesn't. If I gave it like a 1 out of 10 scale, I'd give it like an 8.5, somewhere
Yeah,
around there.
for
But
sure.
I highly recommend it, checking it out.
Yeah.
And it's good to go see in theaters too. It's a fun ride. It's a heist movie,
Mhm.
and that's what kind of the cool part is. I love crime movies, so it's like a crime heist movie. And he's like, if you look at the comic books and you read the comic books, he's like the Avengers' ultimate burglar. Like he's the one that they need to go in to steal something or get something. That's like his whole MO in the comic books. So
Dude,
I think it's pretty cool.
I didn't realize because I did like research on Ant-Man also, and I didn't realize that he was Giant Man. So like he took the shrinking power and reversed it, and he'll get like really big too. And he has like 5 different personas. Like he throughout the comics he was like Ant-Man, Giant Man, um some other big dude Goliath, like, and the character's really like deep. He been through a lot of stuff, like mentally he was unstable at some point. He like fought the Avengers. He had a part in creating Ultron, which they changed for the movies. They didn't have that same storyline, but
Right.
he's a genius and a huge part of the Avengers, which I could understand how they really didn't push him in a cinematic universe right away because he's just not that known. I didn't know. I'm into comics and I didn't know a lot about Ant-Man.
Yeah. He's not a big character. They had to get all the big characters out of the way. But now they can start throwing in these miscellaneous ones, like Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man, and
Mm-hmm.
they're doing, like other characters that are nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
But they successfully, I think, did it pretty good with this one.
Yeah, it was pretty good. As far as like performances, it's so awesome to have an acting legend like Michael Douglas taking, his role serious for a comic book movie. Like
Yeah.
he went in there and was really in a Marvel movie. Like it's incredible the point that we're at right now where like serious actors are humble enough to have fun with a movie and just do these flicks. Like
Yeah.
Michael Douglas is the man, dude. Like he did good. Corey Stoll, the villain in Yellow Jacket. I think he
Yeah.
was a great freaking villain. Great vibe with him.
He was.
He's from the,
He's really good. We brought it up. You say, I've seen him in House of Cards. I haven't seen him in the one that you recommended, but he plays a pretty good character and like a dirty politician in House of Cards,
Mhm,
and he plays that good kind of role
mhm.
in there. So
He's in The Strain, which I don't know if it's a FX show. I forgot, but I watched that and something about like he's a good guy on The Strain, but he has a heavy edge to him. Like I think he plays a
yeah.
villain better. Like he still has this villainous like vibe about him. Even
Hmm.
as a hero, he's kind of a douche. Like it's funny, but I
Yeah.
would like to see him anyway. Let me save stuff for the spoiler part.
All right. So if you're ready, then we'll get into spoilers.
Yeah, I'm ready. Spoiler section. So what were like your favorite parts about the movie, and what stood out to you?
Dude, you know what I loved the most
What?
on it was the ending train fight scene.
Oh my
That was
God, dude, that
so
was
fun.
epic.
Yeah, that was so fun, man. And I love how they played it off, like back and forth with like the view from the outside, where like
Yeah.
it's like they have this epic battle, and then you see like the little tiny trains like knock it
Yeah,
over and like dink, like, like falling
dude.
like nonsense, like fighting in this mini world, and they jump to their actual size, and it's like this epic crazy laser beams, and then it goes out to like the little girl watching. It's like pew
Yeah,
pew
yeah, yeah,
pew
yeah.
pew, and then like the little train going
Dude,
over.
those little
Dude, that was
lasers will
fun.
kill you. Even
Yeah, but that was
Tiny,
fun
dude,
though.
even Tiny, Yellow Jacket, like, killed dudes, like, Tiny, like, you saw the lasers, like, shooting through them. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous, like, but like you said, like, it was comical, cause, like, the fate of the world is like this epic battle with the fate of the world on the outcome of that battle, and you don't even
yeah,
notice it. You're walking by, and you see, like, a little train flip over. And you don't realize,
yeah,
like, the drama that's going on. And when they zoom into, like, the little world, dude, there's, like,
yep,
shit being thrown around, lasers, like, explosions,
yep.
and he's all tiny
Things are blowing
running.
up.
It cracked me
Yeah,
up when they showed him running all the time, like, dodging shit, and, like, you don't,
yeah.
dude, it was funny. How about the briefcase when they was spiraling in the air?
Dude, that was a cool concept. It really was. Like Siri gets on there, and then like what did it play? The Cure, something like
Some
that, and then
song,
they're
yeah.
spiraling around, hitting off the stuff, and it does the outside to the inside view of the briefcase. Like you hear the music
Yeah.
outside, and then on the inside it's epic battle, like looking like it's in outer space with stuff flying around, and then it goes to the outside of the briefcase, and it's just like they did an awesome job, like the funniness of playing off
Yeah.
that small world to big world
And the
thing.
little lasers, like, shooting out of the briefcase.
Yeah,
It was crazy, dude. And I like how see, like, I was confused, like, how he can do any damage, like, little. Like, I thought he was just all about espionage, but, like, dude, he was, like, knocking people out as a little tiny ant size. Like, he would just get
yeah. You jump on people's
just
shoulders,
punch
like
them
punch
out.
them and stuff like.
And they
Yeah,
explained it in the movie, like, how he has the same density, but, like, just tiny. So it's the same force, but, like, in a little pinpoint. So, like, Michael
yeah.
Douglas is like, you have to kind of watch how hard you hit people because you can kill them. And also, if you're too light, you won't really affect them. So, like, it's crazy. Like, they described it as like a bullet, like all that force in a little
Yeah,
tiny, like, surface area. So,
right.
yeah, that was cool, dude. And he was, like, super durable. Like, when he would fall, he would crack the ground. You notice that shit?
Yeah, and he'd fall from huge, like 6 feet up to like being
Yeah.
tiny.
And you hear, like, the little tink tink, like, and he hits, like,
Yeah,
pavement and
yeah.
I don't know if that was his suit or the fact that he was so dense, like, little, you know?
Um, so what'd you think? What I thought was kind of cool too is that, um, you can hate on me if you want, but the subatomic
Awesome.
level, how they visually portrayed
Yeah,
that,
dude. That was,
dude, that put Interstellar to
yeah,
shame
that was
as far as
amazing.
like like the effect that he goes through when he's like going through
The
history or
wormhole.
stuff like
Yeah.
that, like the wormhole, dude. I was just like watching that, and I was like, this is what Interstellar should have
Yeah.
done. I understand what Interstellar was trying to
Mhm.
do, but they should have not as crazy and outer spacey as Ant-Man did it, but that's what they should have done. That's what should have been portrayed. I think that's my personal opinion.
Dude, Ant-Man, like, legit, like, even though it was like a fun Marvel movie, it, like, really made you, like, think. Like, it had me thinking after, like, of how, what would happen if you keep shrinking and shrinking, and, like, what would the environment look around you? It's like, you shrink to infinity, what is that? It's like one of those concepts that is like, wow, that's deep, like, that's crazy. And when you visually
Right.
see him shrinking, like, subatomic, like, it's like,
He's getting smaller than like the particles, like
yeah,
air particles. He's getting
it
smaller than
was
them. Yeah,
ridiculous, dude. Like, so visually, like, stunning. And then he got to a point where, like, it looked like crystals, like, it was
yeah.
weird. Like, he was in another dimension and stuff. And just weird, crazy concept, dude. Like, major kudos to
But
them.
I also thought it was portrayed well. Like it wasn't cheesy the way that they
Yeah.
did it. I think they did an awesome
Yeah,
job with
because,
it.
like, dude, remember, like, Michael Douglas said, you're going to keep shrinking and your sense of, like, reality is going to be so skewed. You're not going to really realize, like, where you are or, like, have urge to go back. So, like, when you think about it,
Right.
when you're that little, like, you don't have anything around you that looks familiar. Like, you're just, like, it's almost like a void, like a weird space
Right.
environment. and sounds. Like it's just like this concept that makes you think so much. Like that's incredible. Like holy crap, that was cool. Really, really cool.
So what do you think? I thought Yellow Jacket was pretty
Dude,
badass. Like his costume and
dude,
stuff like that with lasers
he
and
was
stuff.
badass. Like those, like
Yeah. Those like over the
yes,
top laser beam
yes,
thingies.
and
Yeah.
he
That
he
was
was
pretty
like
cool.
yeah, he was like a robotic wasp. Those are like his stingers almost, like the lasers. Like dude, he was amazing. His costume
Right.
looked badass. Like he was just really cool. I liked him a lot. What do you think about? Okay, for me, the funniest, even funnier than Paul Rudd, was Michael Pena, the Mexican guy.
Yeah, dude, he was
He
great.
was
Yeah, he
freaking
was great.
hilarious, dude. And, oh my god, dude, when he first got out of jail, Paul Rudd's like, "So how you doing, bro?" He's like, my dad died, blah 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 blah, so and so, and
I was like, my mom died, my
got
dad got
deported,
deported.
but I got the van.
Yep. My girlfriend
Yeah,
left me, but I
yeah,
got the van.
dude. How about his knockout power? That was like his quirk.
Yeah, he had a solid punch. Yeah.
He was just like a knockout dude, like with that natural.
And they were trying. Yeah,
No, he
go
had
ahead.
that
Yeah, he had a pretty
natural ability to like lay dudes out, and they played up on that throughout the movie. It was
Yep.
funny because he's the only dude that knocked out the big black guy in jail. He said
Yep.
that. He was like, "Yeah, I knocked him out. I still got that record."
I'm still the only one that knocked him out. That's like a good callback that they did to kind of display that, you know. I thought he was so like when he went back into the stories of the stuff, like he was
Yeah.
describing, this person by this person by this person,
Mhm.
this person. That's so Edgar Wright, like the director. That's so his
Mhm.
style. But I don't think that they, what's his name, Peyton Reed pulled it off. Like I don't think probably Edgar Wright was standing back saying, like, if do you remember Shaun of the Dead in that movie? Remember when they're talking about going back to the
Mhm.
bar? Remember they're talking in that story. They're saying, "Oh, we need to go get Philip. We need to go kill Philip. We need to go get Mom and bring Mom back to
Mhm.
the bar." And they do those quick cuts and they do like
Yeah.
those scenes. I think that's what Edgar Wright, when he was writing the script, was thinking of doing. They were funny, but I don't think it landed the way that Edgar Wright, in his mind, saw
Yeah.
them that way. They were still
Yeah,
good.
it worked, but if you compare it to Edgar Wright's films, it didn't nail that vibe totally, but it still did what it had to do. It was entertaining.
Yeah,
It was a
yeah, it
different way to
was.
like do backstory. Like it wasn't just like a flashback.
Yeah,
It was just like you heard Michael Pena's voice and he was like voicing all the dialogue and it showed the different
yeah,
people talking and it was funny.
yeah.
It was kind of funny.
That's like right up Edgar Wright's
Hmm.
style. And I'm sure he's sitting back like, yeah, I could have done that better. Marvel, what the hell are you thinking?
Yeah.
But those are funny. He was great. He was a good comedic
Dude,
character.
you know what part made me cringe that was like, oh my God, when the main villain, I forget the character's name, but the actor's Corey Stoll, Yellow Jacket, when he was in
Jacket.
was in the bathroom,
Oh, what's his name? Like in the movie, Darren
Darren
Cross.
that the villain.
Yeah.
That one dude who went
Dude, the goo gun.
dude, the one guy who went he went against him in the board meeting and he caught him in the bathroom and he zapped him with that shrinking ray and I really didn't catch it. I first thought that he splattered on the ground, but he turned into goo when he first blasted him. Either way, it was
Yep.
like disturbing because like he landed as a plop of goo and then he got wiped up and flushed.
Yeah, he
That
got wiped
was
up by a little tissue and
ridiculous,
flushed
dude. I
out.
was like, oh my God, what the hell?
Dude, you know what I was thinking though? Like, forget Yellow Jacket. Like, why don't you just patent that technology? We just go into the Middle East and just turn them all into goo.
Yeah. Yeah, that was just disturbing, dude. And the poor sheep. Come on, man.
He was like 56. Bring in 56 or something.
Dude, but when he succeeded and like he tapped it like when it was in the little container, he like flicked it. What a douche.
Yeah.
He was an
He is a
ass,
douche.
dude. I hated that character. Oh, dude. Go ahead.
So what do you think about how they kind of tied it into the Avengers? I don't think they were pushing it too much. I think they did a pretty good job of not forcing him into the Avengers story, but like just kind of like bringing him in and, you know, like touching on Tony Stark and him with Falcon and stuff like that. I thought they did a pretty good job of not forcibly entering him into the Marvel world. And he laughs at first and he's just like, well, I think the first thing we should do is probably call the Avengers instead of me doing this.
Yeah, that was a cool nod. And then Michael Douglas said, no, they're probably dropping a city on someone, or which is like the second Avengers and
from the second
which
Avengers,
I thought it was like cool nods. And but my one complaint is I honestly don't care for Falcon at all. I think he's lame as hell. I don't care for him as a hero, dude. He's just like weak. And if you know, if I had it my way, they should have had Thor, or they should have had Iron Man, or more, what's the word? An Avenger
Cameos.
with more like clout. You know what I mean? Like a bigger name Avenger that would have had more of an impact of linking them. But it having
That's
Falcon.
True. But you wouldn't keep him.
Having
go ahead.
Falcon like cheapened it to me. Like we already know that we were watching like a B-level Avenger type, like not like a upper level Avenger, like kind of like a side hero. And by them not having one of the main guys, it kind of made it seem like the redheaded stepchild of the Marvel movies. Like it's like, oh yeah, let's just throw Falcon in just to link them. Like,
but if you think about it too, like he was going to some abstract Avengers warehouse, so they're gonna have an abstract bootleg Avenger. You know, like he was on warehouse guard duty. You know, you wouldn't have Thor or like Iron Man guarding.
You know what would have been really nice, dude, if they would have had Vision, because Vision's just introduced, and if they would have had him make an appearance, that would have been a cool like way to link more. Like, oh, we just saw Vision and Ultron. You know.
Yeah. He probably would have kicked Ant-Man's ass, though.
Yeah.
They probably wanted... Ant-Man could take Falcon.
Yeah, he definitely could. Dude, I like how he was very versatile with the shrinking. So, like, he'll punch you at, like, normal size and then shrink and dodge your strike and then grow big again and punch you again. It was, like, badass.
Yeah, that was...
You couldn't keep up with him.
Yeah. Nope. That's why I thought, as soon as I started seeing that, how he was doing that, I was like, okay, this whole shrinking thing's pretty cool. Like, this works out pretty well.
Dude, as far as he stands power-wise, I can see him giving Captain America issues. I can see him giving Falcon issues. He don't got shit for Thor, dude. He will do nothing to Thor.
He could play around with Tony Stark, though.
Suit and, like, fuck shit up.
Yep. And, like,
he don't got shit
stuff.
for Hulk, dude. I don't know.
He doesn't. Well, Hulk probably couldn't grab him.
That's true.
That's true. Him.
What if he gets in Hulk's ear and like annoys him, like in his eardrum, and like starts messing with his
right, or just crawls up, like grabs onto his hair and just stays on his hair, and then Hulk will start punching himself.
Dude, you know what would be gnarly? Like if he was vicious, like you know how he can squeeze through things by going subatomic. What if he like goes in your skull, like through your skin, and like messes your brain up and kills you? His powers, they could be very vicious, like when you think about it. He can go like in your body. How about what'd you think about the little ants? That was cool.
Those are pretty cool to kind of like use the flying ones and use like the little tiny ones. Like when they're going through like the water main, and he uses them as a
raft,
like a raft. Yeah.
It reminded me of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, like that cute little ant vibe, like the little orange one that like was on him like a dog. He's like, oh, you're kind of cute, and then he got freaked out when they swarmed him and like got all big in the grass.
Yeah, and they also tried to do like the whole what did they call him? What did he call that flying ant thing? Anthony. Did they try to do that whole like epic, like he got
killed.
He got laser beamed. Yeah, and then like they had like the epic like little whatchamacallit, wing fall, and it was all like I'm gonna do this for
Dude,
Anthony,
I'm not gonna lie,
you know?
I felt bad. Anthony was my boy.
Yeah, I was like,
man, I was like, Anthony died, like you bastard. And then he's like, you're gonna pay for that. But it was cheesy when you saw the wing falling. It was like all dramatic, like like an ant died.
Right. You're like, yeah, whatever.
But I thought it was kind of like, what a coincidence that like, you know, not even coincidence, like blind luck that Yellow Jacket's shooting and the bullet happens to hit the ant perfect. Like a freaking ant, dude. Like you're shooting at him, and you're gonna
Right.
have that kind of aim to hit a freaking little flying ant guy at you. That was just like
Of course.
stupid.
You know,
That was like
way over
Clint
the
Eastwood
top.
aim, dude. Come on, like
Yeah,
give me a
exactly.
break.
That was pretty good. Oh, you know what I want to mention too, which I thought was pretty cool. You know, like the end scene, um, not Wasp, but like you know, like the last part where their Falcon is trying to track down
Hmm.
like the Ant-Man. There's like an Asian girl that's there. And do you remember her? She was wearing like glasses and like short hair. She was one of the people that was in there. She's on YouTube, and you remember Ray
Yeah.
William Johnson, the one
Hmm.
that does Equals 3? That's his girlfriend.
Good for
She's been
you,
trying to
Ray
act for a
William
long
Johnson.
time, and now she finally got, well, I don't think they're dating anymore, but it was his girlfriend, and she's like she does short films online and stuff like that. I've been following her for, I don't know, probably 4 years since
She's
I've been
Asian,
following
right?
Ray William Johnson, and yeah, she's like his girlfriend on
Smoking
there,
chick,
and
dude. She's
she's
gorgeous.
beautiful. She is, and she's a good actress, and now she made it to like a Marvel movie. She's only a little tiny cameo, but I was like, props to her. As soon as I saw her, I recognized her. She's been doing like big time. I want to send you one. There's one called go to YouTube and type in "Grr Girls," and it's like this like over the top kind of like campy action like 1970s kind of like um
Hmm.
action movie that she's in, and I think it's pretty funny. And there's some other ones that she's done, like Ripley Rewind. It's like a story about a girl who wants to commit suicide, but it's like a very well done. And she's been trying to get her way on YouTube, and guess what? She made the jump from YouTube to like a Marvel movie.
That's
So props
amazing,
to
dude.
her.
Like,
Props to her.
we have like our little endeavors and stuff with our like films and scripts and everything. And it's amazing how you can have, I'm gonna get all like philosophical and hokey right now and cheesy, but it's amazing how like you have like a dream or an idea in your head, and like it seems impossible, but it's only impossible if you have doubt in your head. Like if you really firmly believe that you're gonna do something and it's gonna grow. It's like, look at her. Like how many people probably told her like, oh, get a job, get a real job. Yeah, you're
Stop
doing
making
these
stupid
dumb
YouTube
videos,
videos.
nobody
Yeah.
cares. But look, it got popular. Somebody noticed in the Marvel world, the people who run these movies, they're like, yeah, let's have her go in. She's funny. They contact her, gave her a
Hmm.
shot, and it can snowball further, because what if they have her become a villain or a hero later on? It can easily happen.
Right. Or just guess what? How many millions of people see this movie? And guess what? She's not on YouTube anymore with, she gets a good rating, like 300,000, 400,000 people watch her videos. But now like millions of people are seeing her. She's only in a tiny little part, but guess what? She was doing stupid YouTube vlog videos and like short films on YouTube, and now she's like in a Marvel movie. She's only got a tiny little part, but guess what? Like she
Yeah.
kind of made it,
No, a
which I
beautiful
thought was
chick
pretty cool.
walking down the street or in the mall, like people are gonna look and say, "Damn, she's good looking," but you'll forget about her, and it's not a big deal. But like, she put herself out there, like you said. Now she's potentially seen worldwide now, so people are gonna look at that one scene and be like, "Damn,
Right.
that chick is good looking, and she did a good job." And it's like that's just how it happens, man. You never know what can happen for a career now. Like, props to her, like you said, dude. Like, generally
Yep.
happy.
She kept at it, and she does it every week. She puts out videos, and now she's like producing short films that are like high quality short films. They're like ones that could go around. She was doing stupid little vlogs like with like a shitty ass camera when I first started watching her, but she was really funny. Like she was pretty and she
Hmm.
was funny at the same time. But now she does like
Hmm.
production level stuff,
Yeah,
so
that's
which is
awesome,
pretty
dude.
good.
Back to
Yeah.
Ant-Man though. I'm trying to think of something else that like really stood out that was great. Probably Paul Rudd's performance. He didn't overplay it. He played it just right. He was funny,
No.
but he wasn't stupid funny. He was serious when he had to
Yeah.
be, but it wasn't like hokey serious. It's like when he told Falcon, he's like,
Right.
"I'm Ant-Man. You never heard of me?" Which is
Yeah.
cool.
He didn't try to be like. Yeah. He made fun of his own character.
Hmm.
Like which is
My
good.
favorite parts, dude, like watching him run, like Tiny. It just looked funny.
Yeah.
Like when he was running with the herd of ants, like on the ground. It's like you see his like little army, and
Yeah.
it's epic, but it's cheesy, in a fun way. You know?
Yeah. And like when he was down in the ground in the ant tunnels, and then he would get scared and like make himself big
Hmm.
and like jump out of the out of the grass.
Dude, he actually, it was very creative what he was doing with those ants. Like, he was fucking shit up. He was messing up, like, surveillance cameras, like, covering the lenses, messing electronics up.
He put little, like, laser beam thingies on them and stuff like that, and he would make them fly into, like, people's necks and stuff like that, and they would swarm things.
Yeah, it's like
it's pretty cool.
You know, what we were talking about with Iron Man, not to get all dorky, but, like, you view Iron Man as badass, but Ant-Man will probably fuck his shit up by getting tiny and getting in his suit.
Probably.
Using ants to, like, you know, chew on fucking electronics.
Distract him and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, Ant-Man's no joke. Y'all better recognize. He's important.
So yeah, I'm glad I went to go see it. Definitely. I had no intentions of going to see this one, but it was fun. Like I said, my nephew liked it too.
Definitely,
so it's good
dude.
for all ages.
Would you think you would own it if you saw a good deal?
Yeah. Just like Iron Man, like I don't think I would own Captain America, or the first Thor was good. But I would own this one because guess what? I'm a sucker for crime movies. So this was kind of like a crime superhero movie. It's like a heist film. You know, he did like a couple heists throughout the whole movie.
Dude, you know what else was good? The little side story of the father-daughter relationship and like the divorce. Like they had like real world problems in it. And I think
and he was afraid to lose her because like he lost his wife.
That,
you know?
that was they portrayed that well. Like they threw that in there where there was like a real issue, like a real life issue. And, you know, that was kind of like, I wouldn't say it was like touching, but it was like you kind of felt for the character. Like he was like a loser, like in jail, like a mess up. And he just wanted like redemption and be a good dad to his daughter. And, that was cool how they threw that in there. And
I think that's important too. Like, you know, like even with like the Iron Man, the last Iron Man that he did, you know, it was an Iron Man action movie, but they played it off like with the kid, you know, Iron Man 3, him and the kid going back and forth about issues that he's having with coming out of a wormhole and stuff like that. I think they ground it pretty well. Marvel films, you know, most of the time it's like this over the top action superhero movie, but they do ground it in real world issues.
I think it's important too, cause, like we can't connect to like a dude in a suit flying around, but we can connect to like real world problems. So it adds something where you just relate to the movie more, you know? And, that cop, he was on this show called, Boardwalk Empire, and he was an absolute maniac in that show. He's actually a pretty good actor. Yeah.
Yeah.
He plays a bad guy well, like on Boardwalk Empire, like, dude, he was a maniac. So yeah, man, going back to, the owning aspect, if I found it for, dude, I would pay like I would pay $10 for it. I'll pay $9.99 on Blu-ray. And I'm going to tell you why, just for the unrated version and special features. Like I would like to see.
I would love to see the special features too and how they pulled it all off. Yep. How they use the green screen and stuff like that.
I want to see if they have like a little snippet on Ant-Man, the character and the history. Dude, Stan Lee, he's looking, oh my God, dude, he's so old.
He's looking hurt, he's looking
God
hurt.
bless the guy, but he looks like he's on his last days. You know what I mean? He looks really old.
Yeah.
Which is sad. Dude, Stan Lee is like, if it wasn't for Stan Lee, we would have no Marvel movies. It's incredible.
It's true.
Anything else on Ant-Man, dude?
Oh, that's about it for me. I think we covered everything that we wanted to cover for it.
So I guess I'll just say one thing to the people listening. If you saw it, I guess you could disregard this. If you didn't see it, I recommend it. I think it's worth a movie ticket on a Sunday if you're bored, and it's worth owning to me. And again, I gave it a B+.
Yep. I'm right there with you too. I think it's definitely one to check out.
All right, dude.
All right. So we're going to have 2 more podcasts come up on the show tomorrow, and you'll be able to see those. We're going to talk some movie news, some movie gossip, and stuff like that. And then we're also going to talk about our top Marvel films, our own personal favorites. And I wanted to make sure I saw this one just to see if this ranked up in my top 5, which you'll find out in the next episode. Check us out on Facebook, Newbreed Film Reviews, and we are also have a Gmail that you can write us to at newbreedfilmreviews2014.com or at gmail.com. And then Paulie's on Twitter for New Breed Film. And we're on every single streaming website that you can do.
And, we appreciate, and I've said this multiple times, but like when we first started the podcast, we weren't really getting hits because we weren't like out there. And, we got 52 episodes in with this one, and, we're out there on the web, and every day we get listens and plays and downloads, and it just happens. Like we don't even have to, it's not even on a release date that we get these hits. And, it just shows that there's a fan base and people are listening and appreciate our content. And like, we appreciate people listening and subscribing, and, it's our hobby, and, we just hope that we put out entertaining content that helps you pass your day. And, again, we just appreciate the support. So That's it for me.
All right. Thanks for subscribing, guys. And we'll catch you tomorrow with 2 more episodes.
Later.